Sound like you're trying to imitate Yoshi.
Yep. Anyway, that's
But
the intro. Okay, what's up, Zodi?
nothing too much. Just been trying to catch up on some of this JP stuff I've been missing out on while I've been playing Pokemon and Genshin.
Yeah, I haven't played
That's,
Pokemon yet, but
I mean, it's good. They did remove some features I liked, which was a shame because that game was my favorite thing other than Final Fantasy back in my youth. But it's pretty good. It's worth a pickup, I'd say. It's gotten a lot of harsh criticism, but
hmm,
it's way better than the last like three regions that they've put out. So I recommend it.
okay. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna stick with this name or not, but I'm gonna call this. Well, yeah, I think at this point it is a podcast for how long the episodes go. Just call it JP Banter for
I like
DFFOO.
the title. That works.
So I think the main thing I want to talk about is new December stuff and how did how last mid month stuff go for you? So like how did
Last
Cam, Dash, and Titus polls go?
Cam was a pity. Um,
Same.
I don't know if I mentioned before. I know you didn't mention Kryl in that list, but she was also close to a pity. I
Oh
don't think I
yeah.
mentioned her last time. That was brutal on my resources, so I've been off three like FR pities strong, and then Dash was merciful. I only spent 5k to get his FR, which is a blessing. I ended up using LD tokens to get his LD.
Did
So
you
that was,
did you pull
go
for?
ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, did you pull for Titus as well?
I did actually throw some tickets at him, and I got his in a merciful 15 tickets. So again, I'm not going to complain like, oh, my luck is terrible because it is usually bad, but I'll have instances of, short bursts of luck.
Yeah, my
So
luck
that
was
was,
pretty bad as well. I got Titus FR and 10 tickets. I'm
oh
being
yeah, oh
sarcastic.
yeah, that's right. I know you're being sarcastic, but no, that was legendarily good.
Yeah. So
Have you built him yet, though? That's the question.
no, I'm not. I'm holding off on building every single FR character. I don't. I'm only picking and choosing. Like I'm sticking with my original strategy of only building certain FR characters, like the mid-month BTE FR characters. Because some of them, I just went. I tested out like certain characters like Braska, to see how his like LD FR kit is compared to like the very first round. It's okay.
Yeah. No, that's fair. That's completely fair. I wanted to build Titus, that's why I pulled for him, and then what we're gonna talk about next is one of the reasons why I might hold off for a bit.
Yep. Because as we probably have seen, people clearing Shinryu's ridiculously fast with like in 10, 15 turns with Camelot in their party, or even just as a party or as a friend unit, because of how well that you could just set up for his force, and the way people have been just speeding through the Shinryus is by using characters. I think it's mainly Ignis and Pinello, and a couple of other characters I'm probably not thinking of, like I think Crowl and Braska somewhere fall somewhere near, but Iggy is definitely the fastest force gauge charger because his force passives all the way up to 30. This is, I mean, yeah, you have to get him up to 30 for this, but his skill 1, skill 2, LD, and his Raven HP like attacks all charge the force gauge by a large chunk to the point where you can get the force all the way up by time like the boss's force gauge hasn't even reached like 10 or 20%.
Yeah, it's funny. I did not know about that for the longest of time. So this is some DFFOO stuff that's been going on Meta,
Yep.
privy to. And then when I finally got the knowledge about it, I'm not gonna lie to anyone listening to this, like not even 2 hours ago, and I was like, wait, so this has all been going on?
Yeah, it's been going on. It's like I found out like about the Ignis strat when I saw Stimpy's video of like a random. I think it was like when he was using Ignis and Strago, and it's like, why is his force gauge charging so fast? It's like it must be Pinello's, like, or it's like I looked at Everett Strago, it's like it must be Strago's, like, and then I looked at Ignis, like, wait, I looked at his passive, it's like, wait, this is kind of busted. And it's like I tested him for myself, it's like, okay, yeah, this is dumb. It's like, and then I proceeded to pity his OD, and it's like, oh well, it's worth it.
Yeah, no, definitely. Especially if you're looking to do like a rush down strat. I definitely see value there.
Yeah.
Plus, he also doesn't he have party-wide fire enchant? I don't want to sound
Yes, he
like
does.
a plebeian. So yeah, he could pair very well with Rosca
But
potentially.
yeah, but
Or
the thing,
no?
but the strategy people have been using is if they don't have Camelot, BT plus or his force, they swap out whoever you're using to turbocharge the force, and then swap in Camelot and whoever, and then you proceed to use his force, or no, I guess you use BT plus, then you use his force, and then all at the same time, like with the other party members, you set up by using either Kane or and using Kurosame LD call ability to ice enchant the party, or use Sid Reigns as well on one of the other characters, and then your force goes your HP damage bonus on the force is it goes up ridiculously high because Camelot's force on paper looks okay, but in practice it's really dumb how much high you can get it. I mean,
Yeah, no.
for those who don't know, it's 20% when it goes up. The HP damage bonus goes up by 20% when you do when a target cannot act, and 20% when you deal ice HP damage. And the important thing is HP damage, because when you do a chase, everyone is doing HP damage, and if you have, of course, some LD call ability up, they're doing ice HP damage, so you end up increasing the HP damage bonus by 80% each turn or more, depending on force passives on.
Yeah, no, it's just it's funny how they'll do stuff, but there's either a lack of foresight or they do really want to sell like a unit.
Mm-hmm.
But I think in this case it was just more of a lack of foresight.
Yeah. In
Because
reality,
I think
it becomes too good.
yeah, because already his kit's pretty loaded with how it works. He's got the paralysis AoE.
Yeah.
That's a that was an improvement I wasn't anticipating them to give him. I just thought they would have improved his single target damage. No, they turned him into an AoE stun and damage dealer, which is different. I like it.
Yeah.
And also his BT effect is really good as
Yeah.
well.
For everyone who's saying, "Oh, it's just a paralysis for 12 turns," no, it goes off every single on any person's action, even call ability. So you always have that up. It's
No,
really
exactly.
good. It lasts only. It's like, oh, no, only lasts for 6 turns. It's like it's good because it gives you big party bright buffs. It gives you a paralysis, and the paralysis debuff is 50% brave damage up. So everyone's hitting almost no cap. Even level 80 characters can hit cap. I brought Yuffie to the recent Shinryu to show Omar that, hey, Yuffie's still busted. I can still get really high numbers with her.
I'm gonna have
It's
to test out a Yuri run now.
yeah. I
But
mean,
I don't know if the Shinryu mechanics are gonna help him because of that split HP damage. But as you were saying, I don't want to get sidetracked.
yeah. It's just like right now, Kamino has a new cheat code character for Shinryu. But yeah, that's what we've been. I mean, that's how the new strat has been going on. Like at the very end of all that, like your force gauge. If the party, I mean, the only time the boss doesn't die is if you solely focus on one person, and even then, you either like BT plus a character or use a BT plus skill at the very end of the last turn when your force HP damage bonus is like near 800%, and you can deal something dumb like 40 million damage with like Zack, or just straight up just do like 10 million HP damage with Kane's EX to both targets. It's, yeah, enough has been said about that. It's like, yeah, it's good.
Yeah, no, I definitely say if anyone's listening to this and they're planning out for future Poland JP, definitely pick up Cam.
Yeah, don't sleep on him. He may not
Yeah,
be
he's
popular, but he's right now very busted.
he's got even a lot of utility even outside that FR.
We'll
I
find.
definitely don't want to undersell his AoE
Yeah,
paralysis.
his damage ceiling might not be as high as like some characters, but you're only using him for the busted force weapon he has, and we'll see. We'll find out later, like as time goes on, how good his force stays, or if they're going to be releasing more busted force weapons like Camelot. Because now everyone's just reading very in depthly about each force like weapons like conditions, and they're like and seeing if they can break it or not, because now people are understanding like the in-depth mechanics and like breaking everything down and trying to min-max everything.
No,
Yeah.
that's true.
But
Especially with how
yeah.
expensive a lot of these force weapons are.
Oh yeah.
They're not a cheap investment.
Yeah, you definitely need to pick and choose which one you want. And I've only so far have 3 force fully maxed out force weapons. I have Kane, Braska, and then Camelot.
You know, same. I only have 3 out of the 5 I have, and that's Dash, Kane, and Camelot.
If in a perfect world, if I had all the high power stones, I would uh limit break Tidus's force weapon just because I have his full kit, but I don't have enough power stones to do it to complete his full kit now.
Same.
But do you want to move on to the new spicy stuff that's happening in December?
You mean like the Odin and all that?
Yep.
Yes.
So Divine
Def
Odin is coming literally in like it was like less than a little over 6 hours from now from recording this, and
Yeah, sounds about right.
yeah. So you think that he's going to be the first boss that's going to have 100 million HP? HP?
It sounds likely,
Yeah.
especially with how we were talking about how you could just melt bosses. He
And
needs to have a substantial amount. At least I hope they coded in something to make the fight somewhat challenging, but
yeah,
not too cheap.
I mean, with how like the recent like divine fights have been going with like Leviathan having 40 million HP or 30 million at the time, or however high it was high for the time when it came
True.
out. But I think they can justify those high HP those high HP numbers because everyone is synergy for the fight. So that's just an exception for it. So yeah, I looked at some of his like teased gimmicks, and from the gist of it, don't give him a turn, don't let him act, don't get, and if you do let him take a turn and he does attack you, don't get broken or you die, and don't let him put on his unique debuff or you will die.
Yeah, dispel it as soon as you get it on.
Or
Yeah,
yeah,
like you
just bring
said, or you
Lena.
will die.
Yeah, or just bring Lena with you if she's can hold her damage still. But yeah,
Unless he's got that gimmick where he forces his debuff on.
yeah. Or just Usuna. Bring Yuna. Yuna is still very good BT plus character.
Or bring Penelo if you're
Yeah.
like me and you don't have Yuna on JP.
Or just put on 6 debuffs. Or 6 buffs. Or 8. Yeah, 6 fame buffs, and that way you can't even put on a debuff on you. Easy.
True.
Yeah. I
I
mean,
have a feeling, like, if you have, like we were mentioning, the right, like, counters to it, this fight's gonna be easy.
yeah. I feel like people are still going to do the same strat of uh, turbocharge their force gates as fast as you can, and set up immediately, and immediately go into BT, then summon, and then try to kill him before he can even do anything. But I have a feeling from the trailer footage that we saw, he has like 10, 15, a bunch of HP thresholds on his HP bar, so I'm scared.
No, rightfully so. Rightfully so. I mean, we all remember the Lufinia fight against him,
Yeah.
Noctis debut, and just how, oh man,
Yeah,
how that was. So,
the chaos challenge for that fight was not being a feel.
oh,
Yeah.
yeah, no, I had to do the cheese to get that. I'm
That's
not afraid to say
yeah.
that. I had to do the cheese.
And especially with the divine fights being harder and harder, but with the exception of I guess the last one hard one was Bahamut, with his condition on paper looking easy, but in practice, and it became very very difficult with how hard his orb condition was. But hopefully, since there's no such thing as orb conditions, and I hope he doesn't have a gimmick to where he like warps into the turn order, because
I
then
could see them doing that. They
yeah,
love that mechanic too much. 3, 4 turns in a row.
I think that would be the perfect. I mean, that's the counter to Ignis, is that he just comes in and just like beats Ignis down and just like chucks him 90 feet in the air and just like and kills him.
Got some straight in half, yeah.
Yeah. But do you want to talk about how they're finally making divine farming easier by introducing a chaos stage instead of
Yeah, they said
cosmos?
there's gonna be a chaos stage,
Yeah.
which sounds. I wonder just how fast in comparison. I bet somebody's gonna do a breakdown video. This is how many you get from the chaos, and this is how many you get from the cosmos,
I
and
mean,
this is how long
yeah.
it takes to beat both of them.
Theoretically, it's going to be fast either way because everyone's synergy, and if theoretically, if you're bringing the new characters, it should be very very fast. You should be dealing a couple million every skill and chase. And with the new quality of life that we'll get to a little bit later, it's going to be fast. It should be very, very fast.
No, that's
But,
true. You just mentioned about the
mm-hmm,
quality of life, and that just, yeah, you're right. That would be really, really fast.
yep. So, and yeah, well, yeah, I'm also showing like some of the slides, but yeah, the new character, Gabranth. I
Oh,
mean,
I know you.
I am very, very excited for Gabranth.
Yeah, you kept saying I'm saving for Gabranth FR. I'm saving for Gabranth. He's the next BT unit I want, and he's here. Well,
Yeah,
he's almost here. He's
yeah,
here in a couple hours.
and I'm fully ready to pity his force because game always likes to make me pity like favorites.
It
And
always does that.
later on my channel, there's going to be a special surprise for his polls. Some people might be able to guess what it's going to be, but if anyone uh, knows who I like to talk to, anywhere I like to hang out, this is going to be a nice surprise for his polls.
I'm intrigued. I can only guess, but I don't want to spoil with my guesses,
I
so
mean, you
we'll
can
have to
probably
see.
guess. I mean, I don't. There's only one person I talk to, and that's the person that I'm doing the collab with. But yeah, it's gonna be a collab.
No, I'm excited to see.
Yeah. So ironically, Gabran's folk kit is out on the city compendium. Whether it's correct or not, uh, we'll find out when like an hour before it debuts. But I'll just quickly talk over his rework. Main thing is skill 1 does like 4 HP dumps. His buffs probably got strong. His debuffs I think got stronger. Let me just double check. Um, yeah. Uh, yeah, 4 HP dumps. They improve his attack and defense down. His actual frame debuffs I don't think got changed. For skill 2, he has 3 HP dumps. He still does the Still does the splash damage and whatnot. It batteries it. Yeah, both skills battery the party after how much HP damage he deals. So if you if he does enough damage, he can full battery the party. And his C85, he does 4 HP dumps. Most all of this stuff does not have any brave heals, just because I think most of this stuff, except wait, does his guild have HP? No, it doesn't. Okay, yeah. Most of this, none of his skills have brave heals like in between each HP attack, so that's kind of worrisome. But I don't think that's gonna be a problem once we get to his BT.
Yeah, no, and he brings a lot of utility to the party, so I
Yeah,
just think as long as you put him with a decent Orobot,
you
you
should be
shouldn't have
hitting
any issues.
caps no matter what. Yeah, his
And if,
yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, just, and if rumors are correct about the next BT unit, which is a later discussion, he might pair well with them.
Yep.
So, go ahead. Well,
Yeah. So his C85, he actually does have brave heal in this skill. His quickening now is 4 HP dumps, which is nice. And still, I'm not sure if he had this or not. Free skills just because I have not used the Banter in my party in a long time.
I
LD,
haven't,
yeah. Oh yeah, go ahead.
oh, I was gonna say, I haven't used him since, like, Transcendence,
One.
1, unfortunately.
Yeah, I prepped him already for the next Transcendence coming in mid month by just having him take it. I took him off Transcendence 1 already, so I'm ready for Transcendence 10 to be able to nuke it fast. But continuing on, his LD non plus version, he does what 3? I think it's supposed to be 3 dumps.
Yes.
Yeah. Um. Wait, no, 4 dumps. 4 dumps now, and with his plus version, it's now 5 dumps. With the plus version, and I think it all. No wait, no. I think yeah, all these skills just further increases like give the new attack and defense down potent versions, which I think is like 40% attack down, and for defense it's wow, it's 80%. So that's pretty potent defense down. On top of his unique buffs, which yeah, his unique buffs that are or unique debuff that further increases like the attack down, defense down, and brave and HP damage down. So I don't think bosses are going to hit for pretty hard at all for this. But now for the big spicy one, his BT. His BT effect on paper does not look good, but that's until you take into account his the debuff. Oh yeah, and also his I forgot to mention his unique buff from his LD got brave and HP damage added to it, and party damage resist, brave damage resist. So he has a little bit more. So party can take less brave damage, and he gains overflow. Standard stuff now. But his actual BT effect, he gives the party. Oh wait, it lasts for 6 turns, so not as long as like the last couple of BT characters, but I think 6 turns is gonna be enough. But it gives the party 30% overflow, 20% HP damage up, 50% brave cap up, and 20% HP damage cap up. This is with the BT plus, so I don't think anyone who gets the BT is not going to BT plus him or use him in Shinryu content, not be non-BT plus.
No, agreed.
Yeah. Now if you didn't look at anything else, it looks very basic, but he puts on a unique debuff called Felon's Punishment, which changes his. If you have at least 4 debuffs on, it changes from Outlaw brand, which is which is the change version of the unique debuff he has with the HP damage buff up in it, and to Felon's Punishment, which gives here. Let me read it. 80% attack down, a Brave Poison based on 120% of his initial Brave. HP targets take 30% increase HP damage, and they deal 60% less HP damage. That's all in one debuff, so it's very, very loaded debuff. And
FF12 units seem to get some pretty okay. It's just Fran and him, but still they seem to get some
yeah,
pretty good debuffs, which is nice to see.
yeah, it's very, very nice. All in all, I think he has a lot of he has a lot of HP damage up, but this would be T plus. But now the new thing that people want to know is his force. His force is as the usual shenanigans of just doing a lot of damage. It will reset all targets break status before the HP attack, and it inflicts criminal mark on all enemies, inflicts judgment on all enemies. Judgment is the other debuff that which is max breakdown is framed for one. And then sets up the force. But the conditions for his force are if an enemy is broken, it adds 30% to the force time or HP damage bonus, and 50% when attacking debuff target. Now I think the actual wording on this is, let's see. When a party attacks a debuff, it has to attack them. So you can't. So if it said HP damage, you dealt HP damage against a debuff target, then it would be busted with launching. So on paper,
true.
you can only ramp up 45% with Gabrant alone. If he spams couple of his rebreak skills, which is his skill 2, his EX, and his force, and LD, if the conditions are right. I don't think Circle or Judgment or skill 1 got any kind of rebreak. Could be wrong. Let me double check. Yada yada yada. No, it does not. So that's the only skill that doesn't rebreak. So the brand pairs really, really well with Sephiroth if you want to maximize the force with everyone.
That's who I was thinking. I was actually gonna say Sephiroth, EX plus friend, or not EX plus, BT plus friend
Yep.
would be a nice companion. Unfortunately, Noel's a little outdated to recommend, but I could see
Yeah.
him making this a bit time. Like I said, Noel's seen better days. He's had a really good run,
Mm-hmm.
but I wouldn't recommend really putting him in a team unless you could find some way to make him work.
But hey, people who have made Vayne work in Seed and Shinryu content by him having his entire during his BT phase deal cap BT 99 million in damage under certain conditions with Kane and other friends support.
That is true, and I could
Yeah.
also see once Vayne gets Gabranth is still highly relevant, then those
Mm-hmm.
two might be a really good pairing, and that would make sense.
Yeah. Do you want to talk about Leo rework and the trailer and what your thoughts on him were?
Okay, so yeah, let's definitely talk about Lale. Um, my initial thoughts from the trailer is damage is really good. They fixed a lot of his issues with, how much his chase sequences were dealing out. That I definitely didn't read up on his entire kit as much as I should have, but his consistency is great. If you noticed with his skill 2, it always it seems to inflict knockback as long as forces active, but I might be wrong there, so I should read that quickly. Let's see. Increases party. Because I seen him use Field Burst, and that also launched. Oh, initiates knockback sequence. So yeah, Field Burst initiates a knockback, so that's a skilled one.
Okay, that's good.
That's
So
actually
he's
really good.
so he's skilled launchers now. Good. Yeah.
And the fact that he's like I said, he's doing about over 1 mil per skill, that's really good. That puts him on level with a lot of the other units.
Now is that 1 mil with like all three members in the chase, or 1 mil by himself?
Um, it's 1 mil with all of them, the chase, of course.
But
Oh,
yeah, but yeah, his LD brings everyone into the chase, so is that shouldn't be a problem, right?
exactly. That's his unique gimmick. Like you said, as long as you have his LD buff active, everyone's in the chase, no matter where their turn positioning is. So he
Yeah.
still has that niche, and he still performs it really, really well. That's another reason why I don't think they gave him as many HP dumps as, some other units might have gotten, just because of that, I would say, I wouldn't call it overpowered, but I was about to, but, that highly unique and highly valuable, uh, ability that he has that still differentiates him from other launching units like Selfie or launch initiators, I should say, like Selfie and Kais, and launching units like Ramza.
But some people are gonna be asking, but is he as good as Sid Reigns?
I would say so.
Yeah.
I would definitely say so. Now, does he have everything in his kit that Sid has? No.
No.
But with these recent additions that they, given him, the fact that he also had a delay, in his skill too, not like Sid Reigns HP plus after using LD, but it's still powerful in its own right. I'd say he's pretty much on Sid Reigns level, if not, dare I say, more powerful than him at the moment. But that's because of the era we're in at the moment, and power creep happens. But I still think Sid's good, so I'm not knocking Sid Reigns in any way.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I'm impressed. Is it as flashy as people were probably expecting? No. But does that make him a bad unit? Definitely not.
Is he
I
going?
think he got.
Yeah, I was gonna
Go
say
ahead.
like, are people going to BT plus him over Gabran, or even just BT plus him?
Ah, that's actually a difficult one to say
Yeah.
because of
Shiny new
uh,
toys.
exactly, shiny new toys, utility that he brings. He does have good utility.
Mm-hmm.
His BT effect, even his base BT effect was pretty decent when it came out because he was one of the, I don't want to say the original ones because I'd have to think of who the original BT unit that increased the damage cap was for the party, but he was one of the firsts that come to my mind at least. Correct me if I'm wrong.
What do they give his BT plus? Or
That's what I was gonna pull up. So his BT plus
like
should have
what?
came a little more prepared.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Don't worry. This is Bruce
Yeah, you could.
very scuffed up on this, so I'm never prepared for any of this. I mean, I literally woke up an hour after I said I was gonna wake up. But yeah.
No, that's fair. You can pull it up on your end because my device
Okay.
doesn't seem to want to cooperate.
All right. So I'll just quickly just go over like his entire like BT, so then you can see the entire in case people forgot what it does. So his BT effect lasts for I think it's how long does this thing last? Okay,
It,
whatever how much it lasts for. It
it was 5 turns prior, and
okay
now it's 6.
okay so it lasts for 6 turns. Increases party chase damage by 10%. Party max brave cap by 20%, and after every party HP attack grants 10% of their HP damage to the party as brave refund only once per turn. And with the BT plus, it adds 10% additional to the brave cap up. So instead of 20%, it's now 30%. So your brave cap can hit 129,998, so that includes both brave and HP damage you can deal. And he gives the party 50% brave gain up. So, not he doesn't give like any brave damage up, or not much HP damage up either. But right now it seems okay, and seems like Zodi.
I am still here.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
Discord decided it wanted to silence me, but yeah, I was saying that don't forget his kit mostly has a lot of HP damage up from initiating launches and whatnot. I believe his skill 2 has like a 20% built into it.
Okay. Yeah.
So that shouldn't hinder him too much. Now, I don't know if I would pair Kais with him, but he'd still, I would imagine, be a relevant pairing because I've used Kais on a lot of more recent content. Sure, he's starting to show his age, even after getting that really good rework, but that would easily fix any kind of HP damage problems during launch, and you should almost always cap if you have Kais with you.
Yeah.
You can slap Pandemonium on for overkill, but I don't recommend it.
Yeah. At this point, Pandemonium might be a little bit outdated in terms of what the blessing gives. Well, when you actually click the summon for Pandemonium, because easier chase during the summon, the 6-turn summon does not seem like it. You can't even feel it at this point compared to like Ifrit, Leviathan, Bahamut, where you can actually
No,
see the
agreed.
bigger HP damage numbers happening.
Yeah, preferably you'd probably want Bahamut if you
Mm-hmm.
were to go a Kais Lael combo, because Kais definitely benefits from having his EX up during the phase. As for Lael, Lael doesn't have to worry too much about, launches, of course, because he can already initiate them pretty easily.
Is there anything else you want to add about Leo in terms of like how his overall like? Are you going to be BT plusing him?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
I mean, okay, if I wasn't a CC fan though, I would probably say assess who you have, as I always say, on your roster. See if he fits into a niche that you might be lacking in, or if you just need a more relevant BT unit or magic damage dealing unit. I'd say he's probably worth it. Am I gonna say he's a must? No,
Hmm.
but I don't think he's bad. I'll test him out, and next time we get together and do one of these, I'll let you know what my findings are, but right now I think he looks pretty decent.
Yep. Yep.
Not game breaking in any way, but not terrible. I think a lot of people are going to give hot takes and say he looks bad. I don't think he's bad.
Yeah. A lot
That's
of
not
those.
even biased.
Yeah, a lot of those people don't play JP or just bad at the game. So yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah, the other two characters that are getting reworks and C90s in this update is going to be Pain and Rude. Pain got a is finally getting C90. I completely forgot that she was still 80. Um,
Hmm.
I like her LD like gimmick and whatnot, but it's unique, and her overall rework just makes it so that she has more HP dumps. Well, some of her skills have the same amount of HP dumps like her skill 2 still has 3 dumps. It hits harder and just does bigger splash damage to each target. And I think skill 1 is no, it's got one more HP dump and hits harder. So main thing is that Pain's full kit is like she's going to be hitting caps and giving um what was it? Just overall buffing up the party's HP and brave damage up and or debuffing depending on where you place her. But she's probably going to be used in the 6-man parties that a lot of people thought were very excited for. Because it needs to be
Yeah,
deployment.
no, exactly. I was gonna say she's probably. I've always thought that she's best suited for like six man if you want to get her full potential, but at the same time, she's always been a really, really good level 80.
Mm-hmm.
Like, as for her rework, yeah, some might look at her and say, oh, she only has 3 HP dumps here and 3 HP dumps there. Yeah, she does, but the utility she brings, the uniqueness of her kit,
Yeah.
the sheer power of it, if you have the right team comp setups, I think they did good with her.
Yep.
I would, dare I say, I would say chase her if you don't have her, just because of the utility she can bring to your team.
Yeah, and even in the 6-man parties, you can potentially get both of her like side overhead buff stacks to 10. Because I would have tested out once like once her level 90 drops. Because I don't think you can use her. Wait, you can't use non-level C90 characters in 6-man party. But I'll test it out. If you can like reposition her to like either ends of the party so that you can get both of her stacks up to 10, which means that you'll be getting a ton of HP damage and brave damage and like party buffs and debuffs ors for the party. Because if you can manipulate it that way, she can become pretty like a really really good ore bot for the team. She probably might not
Yeah,
be like Orbot level on like Ramza because Ramza gives Brave and HP damage cap by a shit ton. But yeah,
true.
you can't really compare like LD characters to BT plus characters that well because they don't have they just don't have BTs that BT characters and the extra like advantage that they did.
No, true.
Mm-hmm.
But like I said, I always felt like she was one of the sleeper hits of the late level 80, era, and one of the units a lot of people didn't use or see, and I'm guilty of it too. I didn't see a lot of potential in her originally. When I've seen a lot of clears, I've talked to a lot of people that have used her, I realized that, she's definitely worth the investment, and for anyone who's looking for a good debuffer or somebody that has or just wants to try out a unit with, some type of unique gimmick in their kit, I'd say she's worth it.
Yeah,
She's worth your gems
if
or tickets.
she's on the right banner, if she's on like a brand banner, then I think a lot of people are gonna end up getting her LD just randomly from pulling for Gabrand. If she's on Leo's banner, maybe they might end up
I could
getting
see them
her.
sticking around Lails.
Yeah. Uh, but if people, but I think like some people already got her LD. But I don't think the vast majority did. But just because I think she came out, if I remember, like sometime around like a little bit after Transcendence 6, right when
Yeah,
like the game is still hard, but people were just wanting easy characters just to make things like trying to just like end the pre C90 like
yeah,
fights.
she was in the Machina cycle. I remember that. I think
Okay,
she's
yeah,
one of the last characters in the Machina cycle,
yeah. Her gimmick is very
which was
very
right
unique,
before
which
Null.
why I think a lot of people pulled for her because it's a gimmick that no one that she's the only one that has, which is
No,
worth enough to like invest into her kit or at least for her LD, and then try to test her out in different places. Yeah.
yeah, no, I'm still surprised they haven't done any other units that positioning matters, but I would imagine a lot of the behind the scenes things have to happen to make that work, and then you don't want
Mm-hmm.
to end up with a character that's too busted that has that kit, or make Pain get outdated. So
But I'm glad that she's getting C90 now, when 6-Man Party has been officially released, a little bit after it's been officially released, so she can shine in the content that everyone thought she was going to shine in. Hopefully.
hopefully so.
Yeah.
So the
Um,
next character would be Rude. What
yeah.
are your thoughts?
I briefly took a look at his like overall like reworks, and he looks okay. It's
That's
not.
been my opinion.
It's overall just yeah, it's just okay.
Like, okay, he gets standard party brave gain up. I think it was like 40%.
Mhm.
Brave damage up to himself by 80%. That seems to be a standard for a lot of units. 4 HP
Yeah.
dumps, which is good. I think skill 1 only a single target, or one of whatever one was, he only did one target. It's still single target. I mean, 4 dumps is better than what they gave Reno, and 4 dumps is
Yeah.
better than what Yuri had, but those units came out months ago.
But Reno is getting a force and Entrant will, so
True.
we'll find out what they do with him very soon. As for his actual like LD buff, they gave him a great big chunk of max brave, some overflow. If his HP is 100%, which he should be, unless there's some dumb HP poison gimmicks, he gains brave and HP damage up, which I don't like that condition that he has to be at 100%, because any kind of like poison just kind of shuts off his that brave and HP damage bonus that he needs. As for his skills, most of them just, I mean, they have more HP dumps, not too many. He's overall he's a healer, a more offensive healer, and the main thing that he got was like some 8 increased HP heal, 8 increased HP heal limit, which is what he excels in. So he's still a good healer, not as good as like some of the OP like healers that we have, but I don't think healers are being slept on right now because
No, I don't
killing
think
them.
so either.
Yeah, we kill them before the bosses even get a chance to attack, as if you're doing that strat.
True.
Mm-hmm.
And if they do attack, you just bring Warrior Light, pop up his
Yep.
shield. GG.
And
But
so
yeah, overall, I just thought it was, safe rework, nothing outstanding,
yeah,
nothing
nothing
terrible,
flashy. Which I
just
think
safe.
yeah, if you have them, cool. Which I think a lot of people already have them. Ursula trying to build. I have her full kit. Still have not touched her.
Same.
I don't think I'm
She will.
gonna vote for her force weapon.
No, it's not going to change my mind on my opinion on Ursula. Big disappointment.
Yeah,
Rather have a reworked Young than Ursula, but I know it was her lost chapters, so whatever. She's going to
yeah,
come along. People are probably going to say she's still really good. She'll probably get a decent rework.
yeah. I mean,
I probably still
let's.
won't use her.
Yeah, her conditions for the force that they teased was like increases when party member is at 20% brave on turn start or 100% brave on turn start. So if your party is like full battering, aka if you just bring someone like who gives a big chunk of like full brave heals to the party? I don't know, Titus and
Uh,
Sid Reigns, and so you can do that strat so that everyone's brave is always topped off, or yeah.
yeah, no, like you said, those ones. The only other person I can think that gives brave heals, depending on how powerful your launches are, guys.
Bards as well. If we forgot about
True.
Bards, and I think
No, Bard, definitely Bard.
Snow as well. Snow's a recent one.
Yeah, no, that's true about Snow.
Mm-hmm.
I
But
forget about how his BT effect works because I didn't get it.
yeah, I didn't BT plus it either. But I probably won't. If I get it off free polls, or if there are free polls, they probably won't be any free polls. I think they actually, I think there may be for winter campaign. If
Yeah,
there is, cool. If I don't get it, oh well. I'm not going to chase after it. Um,
yeah, same.
yeah. So I think next thing we want to talk about is Reno and Shrine. I mean, they didn't say anything about it. It's just that hey, he's coming. So and he's getting a force, so cool.
No, that is exciting. I'm a
Yeah,
Reno fanboy. However, I have a lot of electric units
yeah, a
because
lot
of
of
all the
lightning
recent
units.
FRs. Yeah, and I don't know. I'm probably gonna say, oh, I'm not gonna pull for him. Being the fanboy I am, I'm gonna probably go and pull and pity him, but it's exciting. I hope his rework's good where you don't need his FR. Heck, I
Hmm.
hope his FR is mediocre, but his rework's outstanding, where it's not gonna be like, oh, yeah, must get his FR or he's garbage, which I don't think any unit so far is like that. So I'm definitely excited to see him hopefully finally be really good outside of his own stage and a couple gimmicks he had.
Yeah.
But no, that's exciting. And then Ash is supposed to get a rework with him,
Oh, that's good.
which I mean for yeah, for Ash fans, I hope they're happy. Never been much of one myself, but hey, everyone's favorite should have a chance to shine, and hopefully this will be Ash's.
Yep. Now, do you want to talk about the very nice quality of life that the JP devs gave us, including
Oh,
force updates, even though it hasn't been out for too long, and I'm surprised they're already updating and making the force gauge even nicer and more easy to understand.
oh, you mean where it shows percentages of how much it's growing?
Yes, and well, yeah. Before it was like the 5 bars when each bar represented 20%, so you kind of figured out how much you're increasing it by, but actually seeing the numbers, you can kind of gauge how much each skill is actually increasing the FR gauge. So just now you don't have to see it like inch up slowly or like a millimeter. And now you can see Ignis like fully how big his skills are actually charging the force gauge.
Oh, that's true. That's incredibly handy.
Mm-hmm.
And then, like you said, you just don't have to eyeball it and think, well, why isn't
Yeah.
it at 100%? Well, yeah, because it's at 97%.
Yep. And I think also they included that whenever a character with the use the force, use the force, they have another little like icon below them, kind of like with the LDs and the C65 skills. There it now says F underneath them, so that you can see which character has the force enabled on them. So if you have like two of the same characters, you won't be able to lose track of which character has it on, or accidentally swap them out in a
Yup.
6-man party.
True.
Mm-hmm.
Yup, it's true.
But the Random, we're recording. What's up?
Oh shit. I didn't know there was a recording.
Want to say
You
hi?
gotta put in the video now. Yeah, say hi to YouTube.
Yeah, say hi to my YouTube.
Oh, it's live.
No, I'm not. I'm
Well,
not streaming. I'm just recording for a video for my podcast.
I'm sorry. Hi, YouTube.
it's our
Sorry.
random guest.
Yeah.
Good luck on your force pool. Okay, go on.
Alright.
I'm just listening.
Okay. We have a live audience member now. Yeah.
True. It's an honor.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, go on.
Yeah. I think the other like big quality life that is very nice was for Chaos and Cosmo. Well, no. Well, actually, no. Cosmo doesn't exist anymore. Where was it? Oh yeah, Lufinia stages and Chaos stages. Your force is automatically like charged at 100% when you do Chaos stages now, and for Lufinia it's at 50%, and for Shinryu it starts at 0, so no changes. Now for Chaos stages, this means that your co-ops are going to be very very fast because someone's going to click the force, and someone's going, and with the force up, this makes the fight super super fast. And it's going to make Divine Odin fights very, very fast because if you have good brand force, you auto plus, it's going to use that and it's going to clear the game by itself, or the fight's going to clear itself. So that's why the Chaos stages are going to be probably faster clear than Cosmos now for Divine board farming.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm thinking. And
Mm-hmm.
worst case scenario, if you don't have an FR Gibranth and you want to clear it fast, I don't think it would hurt even just to throw a non-synergy unit in there. Sure,
Yeah.
it's gonna take you a couple turns longer, but the rate they've been going speed-wise, I don't think that's
Yeah.
gonna be that big of an issue. Just make sure you have some extra
Mm-hmm.
potions
Yeah.
set aside.
Hell, you can use even King. His forces hits hard because it does a launch and instant turn rate. So the bot's probably going to use. I think the order is going to be that it's going to be force first, then BT plus skill, then LD, and then LD, then EX plus if it's up, then LD, then spam LD until the EX is back up, and then use skill 1, skill 2. So yeah, it's gonna be fast farming. And I think
No, definitely.
I think the last thing they said they were going to add is they were adding a new exchange for the G tokens. So at 300 G tokens, you can exchange for 4 high power stones, which is if you have already LDs or you end up getting LDs or the EXs already, which I don't think anyone's going to be pitting EX weapons anymore.
No, I wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, this is much nicer than spending like 100 G your G tokens, or if you happen to only have 300. If you already have everything else, you don't have to spend it on a book that you have, or EX plus books that you have too many of, or the what is it, like 4 regular power stones in the shop now, or is it 2?
Yeah, it's 4. It
Yeah.
is 4.
So yeah,
I know that because of Kryl.
yeah. So now instead of spending prior to this, you would have spent your 300 G tokens, you got 12 power stones. Now you can get 4 high power stones, which is equivalent to 80 power stones, which is way more. It's a makes you feel better after doing a pity.
No, it definitely does. Or I should say it
Yeah,
definitely will.
it's still not nice to be up that high in G tokens.
Oh,
It just
absolutely
makes it.
not.
It's just a nice like compensation gift, breaking up that high.
Makes it more bearable.
Yeah, makes it's not a. It's a nice little bandage.
And it's like, yeah, we took all your gems, but here you go. I have
Yeah.
80 power token or power stones in the form of this.
Yeah, you got the LD on the 300G token. So here you go. But,
I mean, yeah,
yeah.
it's better than a book in the 4 power stones, so yeah,
Yeah, better
I
than
won't
nothing. It's at least
complain.
updated rewards. Um, so at least,
But that's a nice quality of life.
yeah, it is very nice quality of life. I think the last, or one of the next things or one of the last few things we want to talk about is just the upcoming reworks. Like,
Yes.
yeah. I mean, tonight, Root, Pain, Gabranth, and Leo. We already talked about that. On Ursula's Lost Chapter, it's Sync. So if you haven't got Sync, you can get her LD here, and she's getting Rework. So Tochigeki is getting Rework, which is a lot of people. I think that's one of the few characters that I like in Type Zero because she's funny. She has funny voice lines.
Yeah. Oh, she does have a lot of, like you said, humorous, funny voice lines. Her
Mm-hmm.
animations are great.
Yeah.
Hoping she was good. She was good when she got her LD. Like
Mm-hmm.
not as good as some people made her out, but pretty decent. I'm hoping that they'll fix how stun works, or at least her LD duration for her. That debuff. Yes, it's powerful, but at the same time, I don't think it would hurt too much to increase its turn duration or how it operates, just because of how much damage a lot of units are already doing.
Yeah, just make it so that if you have her LD, the stun doesn't, the stun debuff stacks just don't go down ever or doesn't reset. That's the easy like band-aid fix I can see.
Agreed.
Yeah, at this point it needs to do
That's
that.
true.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Then
next one,
next event, which we have no idea what this event is. They just told us that the rework characters for a couple days after, which I think is going to be a campaign, judging by this how this turns like the spacing is. Or actually, no, it's not a campaign. It might be another event. is Fujin, Force Weapon, and Caius rework.
That's the one I'm excited for too, is Caius. Because
Yeah.
I didn't pick him up on JP. I only got Selfie from tickets.
Mm-hmm.
And I always wanted him, but at the time I was budgeting for what I thought would have been a Crystal Chronicles unit, and it turned out to be Jagron.
Mm-hmm.
So I couldn't chase him then, and that pained me, so hopefully this time he'll be generous to me.
Yeah. And then the mid.
What
Oh yeah. What was you gonna say?
Oh, I was gonna say, what is your thoughts though about Caius? Because I know you're a 13 fan as well, 13 too.
If they rework his Doom debuff to make it go off on any person's action and just keeps, oh no, that would be broken. Never mind, that would be
Yeah,
just Sephiroth 2.0. Yeah, never mind, I take that back. That would be too
yeah.
busted.
Sephiroth would go cry in a corner because he would be outdated.
Yeah, because then you just
But,
use who was it? Terra. And then
yeah.
everyone would be broken, like off turn, like the turn would be like off in like in outer space, like you won't see them anymore. Yeah, never mind, you can't do
Yeah,
that.
it would live up to the reputation of being Doomsday. It
Yeah,
just no, all done. Slap a Balthier sphere on him, give him a good brave gain up, ally GG.
yeah. Uh, I don't have his BT, and it's gonna be like it seems like it's gonna be like one of those banners where if you have the option to go for his BT if you haven't gotten it yet, and it's hard to try and justify if I do end up getting his BT on for free polls or just random tickets. It's going to be hard to justify BT plusing him just because we don't have enough BT plus materials to justify BT plusing more than 2 characters per month with just current
I
materials.
agree.
Yeah.
No, I totally agree, because the next character after that, unfortunately, makes it where I might have to skip him again, and it's another Crystal Chronicles unit, or at least
Uh,
they are, that's rumored to be, and if it
yeah.
is, I'm happy, because Echoes of Time is my favorite Final Fantasy game, well, with 9,
Mm-hmm.
and that unit will be Charlotta.
Yep.
I'm so happy they're finally recognizing the game.
Mm-hmm.
That was my childhood right there. That
Yeah.
and Pokemon. To
Charlotta
mention Pokemon again.
Charlotta might have a very, very broken force just because her kit focuses on like high amount of like burst HP damage, and if you, yeah, her OD is strong enough as is by being able to do like 1,000,000 damage on her own, under certain conditions like with certain buffs and whatnot. You can
Yeah, the
probably get
fact.
her pretty high.
y- No, I would imagine you could, and I'm just hoping that BT animation is where we actually get to see the real Charlotta. And if not, they should give her a costume. I'm fanboying now, so I gotta catch myself.
Yeah,
But
they're
the
probably going to
fact
give her a
that,
costume.
yeah, the fact that she's been revealed and she's gonna, well,
She's,
data mined. She hasn't been
yeah.
officially revealed yet, but the fact that she's data mined makes me happy because you'd think that, oh, he's a big Charlotta fan. I actually no, I'm not. I like her antagonist, Larcasius. It's an old guy with he's a librarian. He's gonna be like Jagron, except he sucks energy out of enemies. He doesn't crystallize them. But that's essentially what he does. And oh man, I hope they add him. I
Mm-hmm.
hope they add him with his BT, because the fact that she's getting one, and generally antagonists from games, except for Sieran, because I don't think we're gonna get a Sieran antagonist, because long story short, Sieran's antagonist is a monster and DFFOO doesn't get monsters.
That'd be cool if we did.
That would be, but Riam is a really, really huge non-humanoid monster.
I wouldn't mind having a character take up 90% of the screen and cover up everyone else.
That's true. That would be neat. And I guess his ability would he'd make enemies forget how to forget their turns,
Yeah.
because that's sort of his gimmick, is he's about memories. But
If
yeah, no, I'm super excited. What were you saying though?
yeah,
Go ahead.
if I mean, if Charlotte is the BT plus character for the mid month, you are going to be able to output a lot of damage just because her LD changes her HP attack to what 3 usages of some of her new attack, and that doesn't
Correct.
use any of the overhead like numbers.
No, the moment you hit the LD, it resets the overhead to 0. So you have to
Yeah.
rebuild up the stacks. Back when she came out, the best character to pair her with was, funny enough, was Yuri, another Crystal Chronicles BT candidate. Since she's getting one, he's definitely gonna get one. But
And can
one
you?
EX charge would max out her stacks of
Okay.
Yuri's.
Can you like? Is it like Ursula like Lena, where you can like spam her LD and then just so that you have like multiple usages, like even more than 3 usages of her new HP attack?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Yeah, right. Then that might be the new strat of just like right before you go into BT turn, you just spam LD, go get all the stacks, you get overhead buff, and then try and maximize damage, or just spam LD and then go into BT, or force then BT, and then you do like, and then you break the game with how much damage you could potentially do.
I can see a lot of attack, like,
Mm-hmm.
abuse that might happen. Like, heck, the ideal thing would be, like you said, just spam her HP attack, and then on the final turn, I would probably lose her LD, and then just burst attack. That's how
Yeah.
I'd end it. Because, as long as the overhead's maxed out, and it's dependent on her max,
Yep.
so that's why I gave her 2 Rude Spheres, help her out a lot.
And
But, oh man, it's just
potentially
what they're gonna.
her BT can increase her like max brave cap even further. Is also very scary, which means the overhead buff can be even bigger.
No, agreed. It's just gonna. Oh, I'm just hoping that skill 2 becomes a little more relevant. Like, the rework wasn't terrible, but they were originally, you could tell, we're trying to be, okay, she has another option to do big HP damage, but
Mm-hmm.
we're gonna give her a lot of usages of skill 2. Skill 2 is pretty much non-existent when you used her.
Yeah.
You know, when she got a rework
I feel like
and her
there's.
LD.
I feel like they're just gonna make it true that it does two. It is the deals is it their HP or is it their brave? Wait, yeah, it's the
It's
brave.
based off their brave.
Yeah, it's gonna probably just check everyone's brave and then deal twice that. Like so, it does like character 1, 2, 3. This does 6 dumps instead of just 3 dumps to make it compensate.
Yeah. No, that would fix her.
Mm-hmm.
Or if they don't do split HP damage. And maybe 3 different dumps. That could even fix her there.
Yeah, we'll give her
Because the
just a
problem is she
shit
does split.
ton of overflow gain to make it so that she doesn't have to deal with that point. Or just give her a bunch of HP damage up so that, even more HP damage up so that that split damage is even just capped.
True.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, heck, what if her BT effect even makes her HP damage do more damage?
I bet.
You know,
There's
sort of
no
like a
doubt.
Machina? Oh. Oh,
Oh.
that'd be crazy. That'd be busted. I don't think they're gonna
Yeah.
go that route. But
No. But yeah,
pretty
that.
hyped, and
Yep.
that's gonna be a good animation. I can guarantee you that. It's gonna be a really good animation.
Yeah. And then last 2 characters that are going to be reworked on that banner is going to be Yida and Aphmau. Aphmau finally getting a rework and seeing the light of day.
Finally.
And hopefully she and her new gimmick is not going to be just making situations look nicer. But now she can make
I
Yida
mean,
look nicer.
yes, yes, no, true. And then just Yida too. Yida's another. Yita's gonna be interesting because Sephiroth is relevant. Because you know how she could. Wasn't it she could keep. If she breaks, she can keep building up her stacks?
Yep, she can keep on
Or
going and
something.
going and going and going and going.
Yeah, that's. I bet you the real pair that a lot of people will probably want to watch out for is Sephiroth and oh, Sephiroth, Yida, Gabranth, but then again, they don't have auras, so never mind on that. But in a perfect world, if that combination would work, I could see that being a busted combo.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Yeah.
man, but no,
Um.
that's definitely gonna be interesting to see what they do with Aphmau though.
Yeah, her LD call ability is popular as is, and it's probably going to be if it it's probably going to be consistently hitting cap numbers now, which is very nice.
Agreed.
And I think the last two events for December are going to be Reno Enshrined Well with Ash, which we always said is, and Call Cloud of Darkness and Setzer. Someone put Call of Duty in my notes, which I think it was Zeta when I copied placed all the reworks. Yeah, so Cloud of Darkness or Cloud of Duty and Setzer, which is Setzer getting reworked is very, very nice.
I can see them probably just focusing primarily on giving his red card a boost.
Yeah, he needs
And
that. He needs an HP fuel.
it does. Probably that, his Brave Attack, because that used to be one of his go-tos until he got his his original when he got his LD. That wasn't a go-to at that point, but I don't see them increasing freeze. I don't see them buffing the LD effect. Maybe the damage it outputs, but I don't see them, or HP dumps, but I don't see them changing how it works. Is he gonna be busted as he was before?
Probably
No,
not,
but he'll be a nice
because
option.
yeah, Cloud of Darkness. If they actually rework her BT, her BT plus, then or BT itself, then that would be very, very interesting because they've never reworked a BT skill ever, which I don't think they are. But whatever her force is going to be, I'm burping a lot. Yeah, it'll be interesting. I want to see what it is first, and then I'll decide. But it might be one of those characters that I might actually build because I have her BT. I have her BT plus, and she carried me along very, very hard in the Lufinia Plus era with when I got this JP account.
Yeah, I remember you using her a lot for your clears.
And oh yeah, we'll
go ahead.
No, you were gonna say. I was just gonna move on.
Oh, I was just gonna say that I remember you and Zoro being the most enthusiastic about Cloud of Darkness. BT plus. That's what I was gonna say. That I thought she was worth it as well. But go ahead.
Want to talk about the new tease character for the December?
Luna Freya?
How it's not tactics and how the devs hate tactics and only like the recent Final Fantasy games.
They hate tactics. They hate Yuri's game.
They
hate
love
Sierran's
Type
game.
0. They love 15.
I would just say, yeah, probably at this point. Or no, they hate Charlotta's game too. Because she's the only character from her game. Yuri's the only from his. And then Ramza and Agrius is all we get from tactics. They hate those games.
Yeah, they don't like the old Final Fantasy games. They like it.
Yeah,
Final Fantasy 7. They really like it.
Yeah, and they like After Years for some reason, and that's a very mixed game in the whole community. That and Lightning Returns are generally one of the most polarizing. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah.
Games of the entire series, and we have two After Years characters, oddly. But yeah, they really like 7. They really like Type 0. They really like the 4 universe, and who else? 6. They like 6 a lot. But if
you just look through all the Final Fantasy games that DFFOO and the characters, and you can tell there's a little bit of bias. No, a lot of bias when it comes to certain of the characters.
No, absolutely. And if you look at the reworks too, you can just tell who they like and who they don't like. But yeah, it's just it's interesting. Although 15 doesn't have a huge cast.
True.
And 15 was a well-selling game. I mean, who do we have from 15? We have the 4.
We have
Arden, and we have
Arden. Yeah. We have.
And then what's her name? Arnea.
Yeah, so we have 4, 5, 6 Arnea, and then we're gonna have Luna Freya, and then we already know that Core is coming eventually somewhere down the line.
Oh yeah, that's true, Core. Mr. Global first.
Yep.
Almost forgot about them, funny enough.
So technically, there's
Even
gonna
though
be
I have used them.
7 Final Fantasy characters.
Wow. Yeah, that's much more than my mind was thinking. You're right. I'm just wondering when like you said, heck, I'm even wondering when Nine's gonna get another character, and I'm wondering what Luna Frey is gonna do, because apparently I haven't played 15. Um, she doesn't play much of a role in the game, from my understanding. And I only seen her in the movie, and she didn't do much in the movie either. She just sort of was there. And yeah, I don't know what they're gonna do with her moveset. Is she a is she a healer or is she not a healer? Do you know anything about Luna Freya? Other than
Um,
she's Noctis's
she,
fiance?
from what I know, she when they were going to do the DLC with her, Arnea, and Noctis, the last featured DLC, but they got scrapped because the development team is kind of big.
Yeah.
Um, she was going. I mean, spoilers ahead if you didn't read the book. Uh, she makes a comeback in that story. She actually comes back, and they, long story short, Noctis and Luna Freya live a happily ever after, get married in the very, very end. Um, she gets revived. She becomes a demon, and while Noctis and Odin duke out like Bahamut and fight, like try to correct everything, all the messed up shit. Um, Noctis fights Luna Freya, sets her free, and she has a bunch of cool skills that apparently are related to Shiva, which is interesting.
So you're thinking she might get that might translate into DFFOO with like an ice kit?
Her teased kid right now is Chilling Snowstorm, Diamond Dust. Her EX is teased to be Awakening, and Odin and Force. We have no idea, and the translation for that has not happened yet.
Interesting. I wonder if they're gonna have like freeze in her kit, like something like a brave freeze, but maybe I'm just oversimplifying like what they could add to her kit. It's
She
probably a
can
lot more
split in
complex.
half. She can split like Shiva does. We get 4 characters in one team.
That would be pretty cool. I mean, heck, you stick her with Lana Rain, you stick Yuri and Shalenka, you have 6 characters.
Yeah, but yeah, that's all the stuff. I think we went through the entire lesson, all the speculated stuff that we have to off that we wanted to talk about, and
How did we
yeah,
do for time?
time
That's
we
the
did.
question.
Oh, we're still shorter than the first episode, which is 100 and not 100, 1 hour and 40 minutes. This is only just an hour and 20 minutes.
Oh man. Well, at least we're improving. I mean,
Yeah, we're
it's not.
improving. I mean, I personally don't think that there's no like with the way like you like the chemistry between you and me. Like we talk a lot. There's a lot of information, even though it may not seem like much. We like to go in
And
depth
there
on
is
this and talk about prior stuff in the month.
true. It's a more detailed recap going through
Mm-hmm.
our thoughts about what units are viable or not and giving opinions about, who we think was worth it in the past or not, because there's a lot of times somebody might just see, a global player might come along. I'm not knocking global players. I play global too. You might say, "Oh, this character's good," and you might hear from people, "Well, yeah, they were good, but you might want to keep this in mind." So that's one of the things I like that, we go over like, "Hey, how was your poll plans? What did you do?" And yeah, everyone gets an idea of like who might actually be viable versus okay, who was overhyped but is still good.
Yeah.
But no, yeah, it's like you said, I think we've pretty much went over everyone there is so far, unless they throw us any curve balls, any hidden characters, which I highly doubt. I think
Or
we're only gonna get
happen
Winifred.
to throw in a Christmas surprise. I maybe. I hope. But I'm not holding my breath on. But I doubt they will. But if they do, awesome. It's an early
Christmas
Christmas present.
surprise
Yeah.
Type 0 character. A Christmas surprise. Final Fantasy 7 character. We're gonna get Reeves as a playable unit,
Yeah.
and
I
then we'll
mean,
have Kate, Sif, and Reeves on the same team.
yeah, did we already went through the entire Tide Zero cast yet? There's still more.
Juju.
Yeah. I think this is a good
Oh
time
man.
to call it there. Yeah, thank
Oh,
you
I agree.
again, Zodi, for joining me on these podcast episodes.
Oh, you're welcome. It's been a pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you for
And
having me.
yeah, and thank you, Random, if you listen to this, for joining in briefly. I'll throw in his Twitch link in the description, and of course, Zodi's OnlyFans page, only his OnlyFans page, and nothing else,
Yes.
and his Tinder.
Yes, join my Tinder.
All right. See you guys next time.
Later.